Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller long I stood, and looked down as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having, perhaps, the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So I bought this box this morning. I found it in where I buy the animal food, the chicken food and the pig food and the dog food and whatnot. It was just kind of there, and I thought, what a nice little wooden box. Actually, this box is used to house a chicken. So usually they use it for fighting chicken. And basically, they put the chicken in and they lift this up here. And the chicken runs out and then they fight. But I just think it was 250 baht. You'd be hard pressed to find a nice box like this for 250 baht anywhere. The only reason it's cheap is because it's used to house chickens. So I bought it, thought I'd lacquer it myself. I'm not sure what we'll use it for yet. It could be used as storage. You can store stuff in there, obviously. It's got a beautiful little handle on it. I think it's perfect as a bit of furniture in our house. I may buy some more yet. I'm going to see how it looks first. I've been thinking today about choices in life and just been painting this stuff here, sat here blasting some Alanis Morissette of all things, and just in the sun, no shoes on, feet in the grass, and I've just been thinking about my life and how I ended up here, how we ended up here as a family, and it's been through a series of choices, and sometimes those choices have been not to choose money over happiness, and like the famous ethnobotanist and writer Terence McKenna says, sometimes life tries to bribe you off in your 30s, tries to kind of offer you lots of money and status and things like that in your 30s, and hopefully you'll never pursue the hero's journey. I paraphrase there, but it certainly feels like what's happened to me. On a number of times in my life, I've had to make choices that, no, where I am now, although it's comfortable or it's good and positive, it's not where I'm supposed to be, whether to be in the UK, whether when I was a teacher, when I built the English schools, or when I had my jazz lounge. No, you have to move, you have to iterate. And I think sometimes humans, we feel that because where we are is comfortable and because we feel like we've got everything we need, or we're doing a job that we feel brings in the money and it's the only thing we feel we can do, we get comfortable and then we don't move. Even though we know we're unhappy, we don't move because we're so comfortable. Actually, what made me think of this is, even though I'm wearing a mask, I'm breathing in all of that lacquer. You know, I can feel the damage it's doing to my lungs on the inside, even with the mask on. And I feel it's, and I was thinking about people that work with furniture, that's their craft, or even hairdressers, you know, like my mother's a hairdresser. They work around the bleach and the fumes and all of these toxic chemicals that eventually, you know, give you lung cancer and down the line, and a lot of the time those people would think, well, you know, this is what I do, so part of that is breathing in these chemicals. Even wearing safety gear, if you're doing it day in day out, you often have no choice in the matter. and yet they'll continue doing that thing that they're doing because that's what they earn the money. We rarely consider, of course sometimes there is no option beyond that. People are stuck, their economic circumstances make it so that you can't just move around, you can't just choose freedom. Although in the majority of cases it costs very little if you have no children or debt to kind of like drop everything and just get on a bus somewhere, go and work seasonal work, do whatever to remove yourself from the situation. People will often stay in those situations even though they know what they're doing is unhealthy for them. In this case I'm using the example of breathing in these kind of chemicals and stuff, but I don't just mean, you know, physically toxic environments, I mean psychologically toxic environments. You know, even friendships that aren't real friendships, work situations that are toxic, living in situations that are not conducive to growth and expansion of one's being, of one's experience, not providing conscious growth, conscious evolution. You're just kind of stuck in the same day in, day out, go to work, come home, you're feeling dead inside. Whereas when one removes himself from a situation, if the potentiality is there to do so, and I do acknowledge many people don't have that potential, you can remove yourself from the situation and put yourself in a whole new context, which is fundamental for conscious evolution, growth of the individual, learning new cultures, having new experiences, meeting new people, finding new lovers, falling in love, all of those things, you know, that make life fruitful without the requirement for dependence on our addiction, dependence on the chemical, dependence on the behavior, the activity that gives us that dopamine and serotonin hit. So I guess what I'm trying to say in summary is travel, move out of your context. I've got friends that live here in Thailand and on virtually nothing, on 10,000 baht a month. So it's not purely economic, although it has something to do with it. It's not purely economic status that decides what you can do with your life, what you can dream, what kind of hero's journey you can follow. Sometimes you just have to put yourself in the right situation, and that means for me it's meant cutting ties with a lot of people. Friends that I thought, I could never live without those friends, they're going to be my friends forever and ever and ever. It's like saying goodbye, thank you for the time that we've had together, it's been great, you know, you get on with your life, I'm going to go and do something else, and they go on their journey and you go on theirs. It's cutting the known and venturing into the unknown sometimes, saying goodbye to your job. I've walked out of very high paid jobs, you know, so I'd like to believe I'm practicing what I'm preaching, and what I'm preaching is really, at the heart of it, is inspiration for people to follow that dream, follow the hero's journey, to venture out of what is known into the unknown, not just to Thailand, to anywhere, to use your life like this short, fleeting thing. Daily I'm aware that this body is going to die. Daily I wake up with the thought of death in my mind, and some people might find that morbid, but I don't. It gives me such a thirst for life and an energy for life. It's never boring to vlog because there's always content, because my life is content, because I want to fill it with things that I want to do. And to be honest, there is nowhere else I would rather be than here doing this. If there was, I'd probably be there. I would have chosen to be there and do that. This is what I want to do, and I think it's up to, and I'm not saying this is what everybody should do, but I think it's up to everybody to find out what it is they want to do and go and do that thing, and don't wait till tomorrow or the next week. You know in your heart that it's not fulfilling, it's not right, you're addicted, you're depressed, you're sad, you feel empty inside. That is a lot to do with your environment, not totally to do with your environment, but it's to do with your environment, your psychology, your history, your past, your situation, and we can transcend all that by following the call to venture into the unknown. It's the best way I can describe that. And that might be physically through travel, it might be psychologically, like work with entheogens, spiritual practice, whatever experience. Falling in love is very, mind-opening, it's very psychedelic. So that's my little rant today, which was born of me breathing in the fumes of these toxic chemicals. So yeah, the lily rises from the mud, right? So we have put some little flowers planted at the front here. We've near enough finished the outside now. We've got to paint these columns, and then we've got a lot to do on the inside yet. The end of Next week's going to be the final vlog for the house. But here I'm just planting some plants at the front. The thing is the chickens dig them up. As you can see, these flowers here, the chickens will dig them up. So I'm just planting rose bushes. See 2 rose bushes there? I'm just planting another one at the other side. And these spiky rose bushes will keep animals away, the potbelly pigs when they come, and the chickens, hopefully. I had planted a little morning glory to climb up here, but the chickens had it. They ate it, the little buggers. So there are extra costs of going free range with the chickens, because when you do your vegetables too, you have to make sure your veg is all covered so the chickens can't get to it, which is an extra capital cost on the equipment. You could fence your chickens in, that's another way. We may do that. We let them walk around the garden for now. Here's another rose bush. They've never done well in these pots, the roses, but as soon as you stick them into the ground, they really start to flourish. They're quite hardy. This won't be too much shock. Not like some plants, when you take them out of the pot and you plant them, they get a big shock. Sometimes they die. That'll do. The roses. If you are going to do your gardening in Thailand, don't even bother with one of these. Useless. It's held one of these. These are the hardy ones. These are the ones the Thai use. So there's a tip there. So there's the rose bushes in, and you may see under the benches over there you have like a couple of tiles propped up, and that's so the dogs don't sleep under there. You see there's like a little pipe on the top too. Usually we just put that there at night, but it's still there this morning. And yeah, just so the dogs don't sleep on top or under. People might think it's like Dr. Dolittle or something, having lots of animals and parrots flying out of cupboards and turtles crawling out from under the table, and you know, it's all just happy and animals flying around. But I can tell you that's not the case. There's a lot of crap involved with animals, and I mean the literal crap. And they often dig stuff up, they're acting within the nature. One of our dogs is on heat at the moment, which means other dogs from around the area come in, and we have to kind of shoo them away. Obviously they sleep on the new benches, stuff that you've put a lot of time and effort into, and you spent some money. They'll often destroy just out of instinct. You know, the chickens don't know they're digging up your garden, but they are, and pigs dig up your garden too. So you kind of adapt. You don't blame the animal, of course, it's not the animal's fault. You adapt and you make provisions. You try and make it so they can't access certain areas and actually get hold of your plants. And we like the chickens being free range. We like them walking around. But the other thing is that they'll crap on the porch as well. So you're going to have chicken crap on the porch to wash off daily. I don't know if I've shown these on the vlog yet, but these are the shutters that are in. I think they've come out really nice. And actually, we're glad we didn't go with brown windows now. We thought we wanted brown windows, but now we've got the white ones. We much prefer the white ones to the brown ones. I think the brown ones would have been too much. So yeah, we're very happy with these white windows. We're going to add some more shutters on these, I think, on both sides. But for now, the front is nearly finished. And here's a perfect example. I just got back. Welcome mat that arrived today. The dogs have chewed it up. Perfect example of what I was talking about. So that's the truth about keeping animals. It's not all Dr. Dolittle. It's a lot of work, and obviously they all need feeding, watering, cleaning out. The little turkeys now are getting very big, so they're going to have to move out soon into a bigger mosquito net, but you've still got to keep an eye on them for 6 months at least. They're about 3 weeks old now. 6 months you've got to watch turkeys. They can die from all kinds of causes. Don't mix them in with your chickens and your ducks. Keep them separate, keep them away from mosquitoes. The rain's coming down now, you can see. Lovely. Howdy cap. ครับผมชิ้นหนึ่งเหรอใช่ขวัญสุดาครับผม417 บาท โอ้ดังใจใช่ไหม
ใช่
แป๊บหนึ่งครับ
ครับผม
ขอกลับมาครับ
1 2 3 4 400 17
โอ้อันนี้มาผ่านครับให้คลิปไม่ต้องทอนนะครับ You always appreciate it when you give a little tip. Nothing, is it really? Not even a coffee. Package for DAMO. Pay on arrival. She knows I'll be the one paying. Babe. See you guys at Jetbart.
Baby.
Oh, you come, baby. What is it? Wraps. Blankets for the baby. Never get enough baby stuff, can you? Right, what am I doing? Turkeys. They're getting big now, and it's time for them to move cage. So, as you can see, I've set this up in the hot tub area. The hot tub story is going to become clear in a coming vlog. We had some happenings, some goings on, which I will get to. So turkey's just going to be here temporarily until the hot tub stuff is done. Now you'll be able to see that, come on little ones, not usually so shy. They're getting quite big now. This is about 2 weeks after being born, but the feathers are coming. They still need a heat supply though, because the feathers aren't fully in yet. No, it's okay, it's okay. Oh. So, but the feathers are coming, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, now. Come on. There we go. They won't need a heat light once the feathers are fully in. So, oh, there they are, dog's eyeing them up. They're getting quite strong now. To say they were only little chicks before, they're getting blooming strong. And so this is just a slightly bigger enclosure for them. Then this frees up my small cage for the new birds that are coming, which are to be announced. So, and it obviously gives these turkeys a bigger space, but also safe from the animals, safe from the cats. Now they also need to maintain a mosquito net over here, because if you get bitten a lot by mosquitoes, not good for them. And I think now we're going to move on to a bigger water bowl. I'm not worried about them drowning anymore. When they were chicks, you kind of worry about a deep water bowl because they may drown. Now they're bigger, I think there's no chance of that. So I'm going to give them a bigger water bowl. It just gives them access to kind of fresh water, obviously for drinking in the hot sun. Whoa! What do you think of those turkeys now, Otis? Do you not think they've got really big really fast? No. They have though, haven't they? Look how big they are now. Oh. Go on and have a look at them. Hello. Say hi, turkeys.
Hi. Hi, turkeys.
Do you want to pick one up?
Yeah, but how are they going to pick them?
I'll show you. Okay, it won't get you. Look. It's getting big now though, isn't it? Why do we put this net on, sis? Here.
You don't keep no fly in.
No fly and no
insect.
And no
mosquito. But you know what?
What?
Why do have a spider?
Spider can't get in there, can it?
But they have a crocodile.
Crocodile?
Yeah. Ah! Crocodile then eat